Hey, welcome back to Nintendo Treehouse live at E3.
Welcome back, guys.
Nate here, Morgan. We begged and pleaded and managed to get ourselves some more time with Splatoon because
we saw the tweets, the comments, more Splatoon. We actually already had it scheduled, but you're in for a treat either way.
I'm also really obsessed with this game, so we're gonna, I think, go into some more advanced strategies this time. But
yeah, I mean the game never gets old watching for me anyway, so it's just a blast to watch.
We're also, though, right at the beginning of this segment, going to go over the basics again, just in case somebody missed the first one.
Yep.
So I don't want to hear any snarky internet comments about how we're showing the same thing again. I just want to go over just the basics, so people understand how you play.
We're here at E3. This is the same version people are playing on the show floor, and it's got a nice little warm-up to sort of get everyone familiar with the controls. They're about done with that, actually, but what they're going to get ready to do is play a 4-on-4 online multiplayer. They're playing local LAN style here at E3, but this is a game you'll play at home online.
Online, right.
4-on-4 turf war. And what we mean by turf war is that you're running around a map, and instead of like standing in one spot to claim a piece of turf like you might in some games, you're splattering the entire map with ink and whatever your ink is on is your domain, essentially.
Temporarily. Until somebody else comes and splatters ink on top of it. So yeah, depending on what you're seeing in the feed, on the TV screen, obviously you're going to be running around and splattering both other players and the ground with ink. But on your gamepad screen, you're going to be seeing essentially a real-time approximation of what's going on in the battlefield. You're going to see all the ink that's out there, both colors, and who's winning, basically.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of my favorite parts about this game is you think you know who's winning, but it changes dynamically. I mean, it's every 2 seconds it's changing. It's not as straightforward as like, oh, I'm up 8 to 10 kills or whatever.
Yeah. And so just, again, for people just tuning in, basic controls are really, really simple. You're moving around with the left stick. You're moving your view with the right stick. And then there's sort of fine-tuned camera controls that are going on with the gyroscope in terms of aiming.
Oh, the gyroscope, I mean, the Wii U gamepad controls, it's my favorite implementation of analog, twin stick, dual analog controls. But because you're shooting ink, you don't really need to be looking up and down that much. You're just changing the arc that you're splattering. And it feels so familiar, so intuitive right away. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's not like shooting a bullet. You're shooting a constant stream of stuff. So seeing the fine tune, like just change the arc of where all your splattering is.
The controls meet the gameplay, and the gameplay fits the controls. Just perfect.
It feels really intuitive. All right, so Smitty here, who's our star player, who I believe the feed is showing, is right basically in a splatter zone in the middle. This is obviously hotly contested territory, right in the middle of the map. So it's a choke point. For both bases obviously are on opposite sides, so this middle area is always going to have a lot of splatters.
Yeah, it's a nice symmetrical. We talked about this in the last segment for people that saw it, but for those seeing the map for the first time, it's just a pure sort of a small scale, perfect multiplayer map, symmetrical, choke point right in the middle. A couple ways you can sneak around, but because you can turn into a squid, the map changes every time. Whenever there's ink on the map, it changes the map.
Yeah, totally. Well, and Smitty's just mobbing it right here. You see, he's deep in enemy territory, so everywhere he goes...
He's going up the wall right now.
Nice.
Well, he's
just hiding.
He's hiding. Look at that. Look at that. And he knows somebody's coming.
He's right at his feet.
Oh.
There he is.
You see death from above. Literally, he's like creeping in the wall.
Wow, he's actually kind of mobbing on everybody right now.
And you can see Eric's really good at using that squid form to, you have so many... You have such an advantage as a squid because you're moving quicker, your ink's refilling quicker.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you're moving around, obviously, when you're running around, it feels quite a bit slower than the squid form. I mean, if you had it your way, you'd obviously be running around squid form all the time because it's almost double the speed.
Oh my God! Look at this. Like 5 splatter bombs all in the middle.
In case somebody didn't tune into the previous stream, splatter bombs are, they're like grenades filled with ink.
Yeah, it's like an ink grenade.
And you can't just go around hucking them.
Look at that, he popped right up.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right, though. I'm looking at the map, and I don't think it really matters that he did that. I think that they're way ahead.
Yeah.
Green, I think, took this one.
This is my favorite moment of the match because, this one you can tell at a glance. It looks like, I think Green's got it, but it looks closer than you might think.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, 42, 32.
10%. That's a drubbing.
Yeah.
Solid drubbing. So these characters on screen, we covered this in the first segment, but they're called Inklings. Obviously, they are based on Squid. I can't get it. This guy's got like a tentacle top knot sticking out of his visor over there.
Yeah.
I can't talk enough about how the dev team has taken this squid motif and just run with it everywhere.
It just works, Something it's like you can turn into a squid, you shoot ink. They talked about in the digital event, the dev team is like, we have these characters, you're shooting is it paint, is it ink? It's ink. And why it's like, it's a squid. A squid uses ink. Okay, they're an inkling. Like, it's just one of those things where it all works.
Yeah, it all comes together.
And then you can swim as a squid in the ink.
Yeah,
So
round 2 here. This is, again, the people who are going to be playing this on the show floor are having the same experience where a little brief tutorial, then you get 2 rounds. Is it 3 minutes?
Yeah, this is the second round. Yeah, 3-minute rounds. And
oh wait, show that again, Smitty, where you're not on. Yeah, see, when you're not in your own ink, it's like you are very, very obvious to your enemies.
Yeah. And when you are in the ink, though, you're invisible to your enemy, but you're invisible, but you're not invulnerable.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah,
you can still, if somebody saw you duck down and they knew you hadn't moved, you're just creep. They could still get you.
Smitty just dropped. Oh, use the.
Ooh.
Splattered everywhere.
I love that. I love that how you splatter and you like, turn into ink, but your sweater like pops off.
Whoever that was just a double splatter right there. And you can see him. Oh yeah, we haven't even talked about that in this segment. The ink jump there. So Smitty, to get back in the action as soon as he respawned, essentially takes a look at his map.
Yep.
Sees where the trouble zones are and where his teammates are, and can jump to any single one of them.
Yeah, and you can also jump back to your spawn point. So. You know, I think a lot of people are familiar with first-person shooting, like sort of the territory-based gameplay. You all try to get to a certain point, hold that point, and then you get points for sort of holding these different plots of territory.
For getting
but
kills
maybe then you lose it or whatever. This one, the whole map is the territory, and you can always jump back and forth from where your teammates are and back to base.
Yeah.
So it becomes super dynamic as far as where the action's happening. You're never out of the action. You don't have to spend any time running back to where your buddies are because you can just jump right to their spot.
Yeah. No, I got to get better at that. I mean, if you're not checking your map constantly to see whether there's trouble at your base
I think he's
or
going to bust out his super. This is a perfect spot for a super weapon. If he busts it out, look at
there
he just
you go.
lay.
Bazooka.
Woo. That's one of my favorite spots to use this also, because you just lay those cyclones of ink, just laying these swaths across the map.
Well, yeah, I mean, high ground becomes more important than in any other game because you have the gravity of the ink to deal with. So if you're standing below someone and trying to angle it up, it's not like it can go up an infinite amount like a bullet.
Look at this though. Look, I don't know if we're showing the gamepad screen at home, but right now, so green has their base and the enemy base linked, but the entire middle ground is the purple team. This is often what happens. The team pushes through to the other side.
Yeah.
But then you sort of forget that your own base is taken. So
yeah,
I think
middle
purple pushed too far and let green in behind them.
I don't know though. Purple has all the middle.
Yeah, this one's going to be dicey. Eric's just doing work. He's just doing work right now, just trying to cover as much. You know, I found that a lot of times we get some of the best players in the Treehouse playing this. It's often the last 30 seconds, 20 seconds, even 10 seconds at swing matches because as a squid, you can carve so much. You can just carve your way right into enemy territory. And the more, if you master the art of shooting and then swimming, shooting, swimming, it's just like.
You see how nasty it is when he's in the other ink?
Oh, yeah.
Just like, it's like walking in tar. Again, I was talking about this earlier, but look at high ground is so important up here because you have people down below you just hosing them down. It's no problem, but they're below you trying to angle up and get their ink on you.
This is getting nuts. This is where the action usually happens, right here in the middle.
I think they got it though. I think because they were holding so much of the other base.
I think this one looks like green. I think green took it. Ooh.
Does that cat have a tuxedo outfit with overalls on?
I think that's his. I think that's his fur. I think that's just his pattern.
We'll have to. Hopefully, we can get the devs on here. We can ask them about the cat.
Oh, we need to know more about that cat.
It clearly has a deep and maybe dark backstory.
Yeah.
How did he get here? How did he start judging these Splatoon matches? We'll have to find out. All right, Smitty, you want to do another one? Let's do another one.
So this is the warm-up thing. We kind of jumped past this the first time, but this is a chance for everyone at home or people that are here at E3. It's just such a great E3 experience. You get a chance to sort of learn the controls before getting thrown into like this really intense 3-minute rounds.
Yep. I mean we all play all kinds of games, and among them we play third-person shooters, first-person shooters. So I figured I would just know automatically how to play this. And to be honest, when I first picked it up, I did feel like I really, really knew the movement. I mean, it felt really, really natural. But the subtleties of turning into a squid, maneuvering as a squid, jumping in and out of ink as a squid, that's the stuff that you really got to spend some time with to really master.
Yeah, the game is, I mean, Eric here, who's playing, is one of the most, he's like naturally gifted first-person shooter player. And this game is not, it's using all of his abilities, you know?
Well, you can see he's doing some advanced, like, puddle-to-puddle jumping here.
And you know what's amazing, too, Eric? If you want to just go over to a section and just shoot one little splatter and then duck in that, you can just, it doesn't have to be a bunch. You can just creep into one splatter.
And sometimes that's better because if people see a ton of orange ink, say, they're going to say, oh, there's definitely some dude hiding in there waiting to ambush me. But if it's just just a little splurt.
Oh yeah, you can get kind of sneaky and a little bit dirty with that technique. You could just You could put one little ink drop.
Look at the splatter jumping.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's advanced right there.
That's beautiful. And see, why don't you go ahead and throw a splatter bomb for us, Eric? When his tank is like up over that little red arrow, it takes 70% of his tank, and you get that really cool ink grenade.
Good splatter pattern.
And you
on
can see where his tank, that sort of tank icon that's coming out. When you're a squid, your ink refills way faster than when you're running around shooting it. So
right.
it really behooves you to sort of be switching back and forth between person squid, person squid.
Look at it's even squid tentacles in the loading screen.
Everything.
I'm telling you, I'm loving the squid motif. Speaking of the splatter bombs, though, I'm really, really awful with grenades in first-person shooters for some reason. I have no idea why. I think it's because I can't like throw at proper trajectories. But the beauty of this game is when you, like, even when you miss, you're still doing good because it's splattering ink everywhere. It's like it doesn't matter that you didn't get you didn't splatter an enemy. You still splattered ink all over the place.
No, I agree, and that's I think one of the important points about this game too is like if you're not, maybe you don't want to run out and start carving your way into enemy territory. Anytime you're shooting ink, you're helping your team.
Yep.
So it really lowers that barrier of entry for me anyway. Like you could have your little brother playing, or you could have like Bill Trinan playing and be like, Bill, we don't really trust you on the front line, so why don't you just stay home and just paint the base like you're painting your fence at home on Saturday.
Dude, we are going to light Bill up every segment, and he's going to be really mad. You can see he actually, I don't know if we covered this, but grates are a really, really important part of the environment because obviously you can walk on them or you can be obstructed by them, but there's something that if you are in squid mode, basically in a puddle of ink, you can pass through them.
Exactly.
That becomes really important, especially like somewhere
Look at
up
that.
there.
See, he's splattered the wall and able to, there's no way you could get up that wall or through the grate unless you're a squid.
You gotta own this hallway, dude. You gotta own it. Did you get him? You didn't get him.
This is
Pistols at dawn. Oh. That's all right, man. He had backup anyways. The dude was coming. He was behind him with a super weapon.
He had a super weapon ready too, and the super weapon doesn't carry over. So once you respawn, if you had it ready to unleash, you don't get it back. You got to re-earn it.
Yeah. Something to just to note. It's probably not something that is immediately obvious on the feed though, but that little sequence there where he was down below the grate and then he looked up and painted the wall and then scooted up the grate. That's where I really think the gyro is just so important because you're looking around. You're looking around horizontally and up and down, but being able to really quickly check up, pop it with your paint and then scooch up there, it really, really feels natural with the gyro.
Yep. I've seen so many people here at E3 on the show floor just pick up the game and like, the controls don't take any time to get used to. It just feels so good, and then you can focus on, the strategy.
Whoa. See, Smitty's getting splattered a lot, but that is because Smitty plays without fear.
Yep.
Now, if they put me on that, I'm the guy who's like crouching underneath a grate somewhere popping out. I embrace the coward's way a little bit.
Look at this. Oh, watch out, watch out.
I think that was his ink, wasn't it?
Oh.
Nothing left but a scarf. A checkered hipster
like
scarf was all that remained.
I love that about we've talked about these characters, but they're so stylish. Like, not just it's like the whole level is sort of this, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a cityscape, but it's kind of like industrial setting. There's graffiti on the walls, which kind of mimics what you're spraying ink. It kind of gets that, like, you're tagging the walls with graffiti. There's stickers everywhere, like.
And then there's colorful ink everywhere on everything.
This is like a serious battle, but they're wearing like headphones and sneakers.
Yeah. I don't know if we have the lower map up on the feed, but it's actually this is a tight match. I can't. Can you figure that out? I mean, it looks like Pink is making inroads right now, but.
My favorite thing, I've said this before, but it's true. I say it because it's true. My favorite thing is that you never quite know who's winning because you look down and you're like, all right, we're doing great. Yeah. We've got our base locked down. We're advancing into enemy territory. You can look down 10 seconds later and it's completely changed.
Yeah, imagine how it would be so crappy if there was like a little percentage meter there so you knew exactly what percentage was covered. That would rob it of basically all the excitement. What do you say, Smitty? Oh, man.
This is the closest one we've had this session. That's less than 2%.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show we had some matches earlier today that were won by 0.1%, and that could be like one splat.
Yep. Yeah, again, that's why you need to be running and gunning constantly.
And once that gets into your head, it's like you're like, I'm gonna run up and help my buddy like hold the middle, but then you run past a patch of like unsplattered turf and you're like, I better get that.
Yeah.
Because that could be the difference.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's kind of nice too we were talking earlier about, Trinan level players, and it's kind of nice to know that like their little like that one last shot that they took back at the home base.
Oh,
is
yeah.
the thing that pushed you over the top.
Yeah, he's probably painting his name on the ground, and that actually was like turned the tide.
That actually sounds like something Bill would do. This is something that I often forget to do, which is even in your home base, going up and finding all the high platforms that you can and covering those with your ink is important, I think, for 2 reasons. One of the main reasons is it's not an area that's immediately obvious that is claimed by you. Like the ground right underneath your feet, yeah, everybody's going to shoot that. But some high platform, you might not even realize that thing is blue until you get up there, and then you're like, oh man, I got to go up there and cover it with my own
that
ink.
can happen because another thing on the gamepad map is you see, and just to clarify a point for people at home, you can shoot ink on almost any surface, walls, ground, ramps. What's counting towards your total at the end is actually like walkable area. So it's like ground, ramps. The walls aren't counting in your total, but a lot of times they can really help you do some sneaky stuff.
Yeah, strategically.
So, but at the same time, if you're like trying to make a last-minute comeback, you got to remember to focus on the ground and not get hung up by like if the whole wall is blue.
Yeah, exactly. Super weapon, yo. So as you see, Smitty's got his super weapon available. At this point, anytime he wants to click his R button. Yeah, there it is. And once you activate that, you want to activate it at the right time because once you click it, that's it. You just got to shoot as much as you possibly can.
Exactly.
In a certain time period.
Yeah, like once you fire it up, it's like it has like a I don't know 5-second cooldown. You shoot it as many times as you can before the timer runs out. So.
Wow, Pink is doing really well.
Yeah, this is a pretty straightforward match. Each team kind of has their own side, but the middle is where all the action's at.
Yeah, you can see the middle is just a
double kill.
jar. Oh. Incoming! Ooh, he's still there.
Did you just say incoming, or is that incoming?
Yeah, I totally didn't mean to though, but that's awesome. Incoming. You gotta write that down. Write that down.
Yeah, we gotta write that.
That's going. We're getting that in the game somehow.
You heard it here first. Incoming, coming.
Yeah, this middle area is really a bad place to be, but you gotta hold it. I mean, if that's where the action is, that's where you gotta go. Because again, you know, every bit of if you got a choice between splattering ink down on bare ground or splattering ink down on your opponent's ink, you're going after their ink. It's like it's double money.
Oh, here, see, this is what we were talking about. This is like a little side section that isn't in the middle of the firefight, but he just went ahead and grabbed that. He might be able to hold that for the rest of the match.
Yeah, because people might not even realize it's there, and you know, unless they're glancing at the map. No, they're making good inroads here.
Yeah, we had a chance to talk to some of the guys on the dev team, and like one of them is like, I just like to stay home and cover as much as I can, every last square inch, because that just is that much more for the the opponent to have to come reclaim. Yeah. Whereas, you know, you might otherwise carve as far ahead as you can and make them work overtime on their own base.
Yeah, you know, that's something we haven't talked about a lot, but you know what? As we're getting, is that tight? Oh, that's murder. That's just awful.
Yeah.
Oh man. That's well done. Well done down there. That was
55. That might be the biggest beatdown we've seen yet on Treehouse Live. But we haven't talked about this, but on the end screen, you win as a team, but you also get ranked as an individual player. So you could be on the winning team and have be the top. Your 4 could be the top 4, or you could be on the losing team and be the highest ranked player because you did the most work for your team. You're
basically getting those points. Are basically all the time that you're splattering ink over a surface, you're getting points, right?
Yeah.
And that includes when you splatter an opponent.
Yeah.
You're getting points because they basically
We'll see that in the next match,
ink.
but the little counter you see at the upper right corner of the screen is not your team points. We've talked about how that's not really quantified until the end. It's just shown on the map. But that point is how much like new turf or ink you're recovering. So you're able to sort of build your own point total, which adds to your super weapon charge ability, which adds to your total at the end, and sort of you can.
And that's cumulative, right? So it's like, if I paint something and then somebody paints over it, I'm not getting points like yanked back, am I?
No.
It's like I'm accumulating the entire time.
And you get a little bump if you like splatter somebody or, and it can be kind of nice, a team-based game. Your team might lose it in the end, but you can still be like, hey, I did my part. I was top dog.
Hey, Smitty, go back up there and then look up at the, there's like a billboard up there.
Yeah,
I totally didn't even notice that. There's little squids up there.
Look at that. And look at the graphics, too. It's like some kind of... It's like an LED Supertron, Jumbotron up there. I've never noticed that. I've been playing this game for like a month.
And these things actually remind me of like, traditional paintball, like blockade things.
Yeah. And I like that the ink doesn't stick to them there. It's kind of there to you can just kind of crouch behind it.
Yeah, did we cover that? Basically inkless surface. So there's, obviously you can be painting everything and a lot of this stuff is navigable, but there's definitely walls that you can't spray.
Yep.
There are floors that you can't spray with ink that are going to change things. There's also areas where you see a little perimeter border. So the vertical border up there on the top of the wall.
Yeah, so he can't swim.
He's not going to be able to pass
He's kind
over
of
that.
bumping against that.
Yeah.
So,
but that's not everywhere. So
not everywhere.
you know, studying the environment and seeing areas where you can pop over things becomes.
I've seen guys who will like ink a wall and like over a thing. So like you go up and over to not even let the opponent. They won't see ink on the ground to know that you've like come into their base because you're like sneaking along the wall.
Oh man, that is
totally
dirty.
Creeping.
That's assassin style.
Yeah.
All right, let's
we're just waiting for them to load in here. And,
I think we're gonna get another match in.
Yeah, we got time for a few more matches.
They're total 10 minutes each match.
It's two 3-minute rounds.
Floor, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That actually, you were just giving me a really good idea. It's sort of Mario Kart 8 inspired idea where, you know, paint a wall and then there's a gap and then there's another wall painted on the other side. Hopping off that wall and into the other wall, you think is that possible?
It's probably possible. I've seen some
try to do that. Do some wall. No, I'm just kidding.
For those people who saw the digital event too, I mean, there's some in the trailer sort of that's at the end of that of the gameplay. I mean, there's some intense stuff happening there, and there's also some we haven't talked about this really, but there's some stuff shown in that. I would encourage anybody who's really liking seeing Splatoon here to go back and watch the Nintendo digital event and watch that Splatoon section because there's some stuff that we're not seeing in this version on the show floor that we saw in that video. And
actually, yeah, the more time we've spent down here, the more I realize I need to go back there and study that thing because it seems like they dropped a lot of nuggets of you know, stuff that we're going to see in the final game. That
and who knows if that stuff's final, but it just gives you an idea of like, wow, with the sort of core spec that they've fleshed out for this demo, think about different maps, think about different weapons, and I think that's sort of part of putting those in there is just to sort of get people's minds going, and I cannot wait to see what they do with this.
One thing I think we need to start doing in the Treehouse is, number one, really making some solid allegiances about who our teams of 4 are going to be. And then we really need to start talking strategy because, honestly, once we have a crew of 4 guys who are going to be going online,
oh man,
knowing who's, you know, making sure that somebody's like, okay, I'm going to be the guy who's guarding the base.
Oh,
you know, you're going to be the guy who's going to go out and like make inroads as far into the. I mean, establishing some roles, I think, is probably going to have some really good strategic.
I think the people, like the teams of 4 that play together that are going to dominate this are going to have like strategies where, you know, and the thing is because you can jump to a teammate's location or back to base, you could like have, as long as you have 2 guys on the front line, you can have guys feeding back in. I mean, to be honest, I can't even imagine where that's going to go, but it's going to be cool.
I get Smitty on my team.
Yeah.
Smitty is showing me something here.
Look at that. Oh. I love that too. When you see somebody,
He's right there.
You see an opponent, and then they dip into the ink as a squid, and then you think you know where they are, but you're like, ah.
Yeah, did you see that whole sequence? It's like they were right on top of each other, and
look at this. Oh,
dude, he's right there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And you notice that too. So when he exploded, like
was that? Who was that? Was that you? No.
And I don't know if you noticed that too, but when he exploded, he actually exploded into the enemy's color ink. So like they got a little bonus on a sort of turf.
Yes, you get the thrill of the splatter, but it's also side benefit. They blow up into your ink.
Absolutely.
All right, yeah, sniper style. No, I mean that was all happening too fast for me to comment on it, but that is what makes this game so awesome. Like they were literally right on top of each other.
Yeah.
They're each like just disappearing.
And
like you're right there.
You know they're right there.
Dude is somewhere right there, but like whoever pops out first and splatters the other guy is the winner.
I never get tired of watching this game. I kind of wish I was playing, to be honest. But
yeah,
this is the next best thing.
It's a little hard actually. Did we ever determine if you could jump into the tree? We'll have him do that
I don't know
next
if you
time.
can climb.
He's too busy doing advanced stuff.
Oh.
Look.
And I don't know if people saw that, but when you're a squid and you're a squid in your own color ink, you're completely invisible. But when you move, you see these little ripples.
Yeah,
so if you're really sharp, you see your opponent duck down and you watch. You
so
can track him.
Basically that guy who I think is our ringer over there, who's been sent in to just to murder Smitty. He just ducked down, did a quick curve arc, popped back up, and shot him from the other angle. That's nasty. Smitty, there's competition out there, man. And I'm looking at your map, and it's looking pretty pink. Yeah, that's pretty pink.
Yeah.
Oh, I just noticed that actually. So these are people who get splattered.
Yeah.
You see a little X when your teammate goes out.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, if there's been any, I don't know how much of the feed has been showing the gamepad screen, but that real-time stuff where you see people super jumping basically to the other location. You can see all the
fun too. And it's
although obviously,
Oh, this looks close.
They made a good push late. I thought they were getting killed.
This is going to be close. I think green took it.
Nah, pink, bro. Oh man.
Ooh.
The late push. They showed me something though. I mean,
Yeah,
somebody over there was doing
pushing
dirt.
it. Real quick here, you can see you can see also like up in the right-hand corner, you can see how many splatters you had, how many times you were splattered. It's just nice to get, it's not the first and foremost thing, it's sort of how you did it individually, but it's there.
There's always got to be a little
and it's
extra
there too, because
bragging
it's
rights.
nice because even if you're the team that won and you had your fourth guy was lowest on the list, you're like, come on, dude, you gotta pick it up. We're carrying you.
Well, and I've certainly had matches where we got destroyed, and I took at least a little solace in seeing that I was sort of up in the total point total.
Because if it didn't have that individual ranking, you would just think, oh, we won as a team. Everybody did their part, not knowing that probably somebody again, Bill was not pulling his weight.
Has Bill heard any of this stuff? He better not be anywhere near here because Bill's gonna kill us.
So I'm hoping that this time Eric can show a little something that we've got another guy in the treehouse that he worked with me actually on localizing the English text for this E3 build. Ethan, he's been on a few segments today. His favorite thing to do is run into the enemy's territory, put down one little splat, like a little one, and then just hide there.
Smitty, Ethan mission. Can you go on an Ethan mission? To the troll bridge.
And it's super dirty, but it's also,
There is no dirty, man.
Some might say it's tactical, some might say it's cowardly, but either way, it's it's something.
They got a guard up there. You gotta wait.
But see, look at this. So he's just in a single.
Oh, it didn't work.
He got taken down, but I love that you don't have to. You start to, you don't need the whole map covered to be able to use your squid abilities.
He's not doing something easy there. He was trying to go as deep as you can. So he's gonna jump all the way back to basically right there because one of his teammates went with him.
Oh man, that guy has no idea. Well, that was teammate.
Go to the troll bridge. Troll bridge. Oh, he's behind you, man. He's right there. Pop.
Ooh.
Check it out.
I love that. I love that.
I mean, there's something so nice about the surveillance aspect of that. You're just you're crouching in your ink, man.
I know. It's
nobody can see me.
That's the dream, right? I mean, you're playing hide and seek, playing paintball or something, to be able to just duck down and disappear into the environment.
Oh, he's going back. So he saw these two guys advancing on his base, pop back to the base, him and his buddy, and they're gonna go back and defend it. Oh, he got him. And two.
Look at that. Those guys are.
Yeah, constantly changing tactics.
And it's that layering effect, it's never. You're constantly having to claim and reclaim turf, claim it back. Just when you think you've got okay, our base is locked down, you look down and it's gone, and no match. I've played so many matches, and no match feels the same.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah, we were talking about that in the earlier segment. It's it doesn't matter what tactics you use in that last mission.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to change this time because probably the enemy they've evolved or they're doing something different this time as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and just finding your one spot to sit there and try to get kills. Just getting kills doesn't win you anything. Just splattering people does not win you anything. You need to own your territory.
Absolutely. So this is at the end of this match. We're going to be out of time for this segment. So I'm just going to watch how this plays out. Green's holding it down pretty hardcore, but yeah, we're going to be. What's really cool is we're going to be here. We're going to be Treehouse Live 83 is going to be sort of here the next two show days too.
Yep.
We've got some more, probably some more of this game coming up.
I will find a way to weasel a little bit more of this game. There's, frankly, I mean, especially we're a little bit spoiled here. We obviously get.
Look at that.
Oh, that's just.
Green wanted to put their stamp on this segment. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to go ahead and kick it back over to the Treehouse Live 83 stage. We got a very special treat. We're going to be showing off Mario Maker with a very special guest. So I'm going to go ahead and hop back over there and hope you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back.
See ya.